Hey, welcome everyone. We are live again. If you're watching this on the replay, we'll get going in about 2 or 3 minutes. If you are watching the replay, this is the Rapid Startup Workshop. We meet every week to go through your small business ideas. Today we are ideating on those ideas. We're looking at how you can rapidly validate your ideas, put them to a bit of a test and see what actually works. We'll get going in a couple of minutes. People are starting to come in now. There is a chat for this as well. You can jump on to rapidexecutive.com/live. It will redirect you to the chat window. You can watch the video up above as well. Let's just flick back to me. Hi, everyone. All right, so it's pretty much on 8 o'clock, so we'll get going here in just a moment. I'll just let a couple of other people come in. It's funny, I was just looking at my phone is a different time to my computer, which is on the internet time. My phone's supposed to be on the internet time as well. My phone says 8 o'clock, computer says 7:55, and Google says 8:02. Interesting. All right. See a few people coming in there now. Hi, everyone. Let me know where you're coming in from. We'll get going in a couple of minutes. Tonight we're talking about ideation. So we'll go through and really think about your idea, what you could do to validate your idea, and put it to a bit of a test with a bit of a framework. I've got a 9-step process that comes from the 7-day startup. You can check out your idea. We'll also go through a bit of an archetype check to see what kind of business model works for you, and how you can actually work that out. So we'll just let people come in there. If you are new, you can jump onto rapidexecutive.com/live. There is a chat box there. You can watch it above and have the chat below. Some people have been complaining about the YouTube version of the chat that doesn't work as well on a mobile. So I put another page together for you, so you've got the chat and the video at the same time. All right, let me know where you're coming in from, guys. Great, here they all come. Welcome, everyone. All right, we'll kick off. This is lesson 1 of the Rapid Startup. We meet every week. I'm Nathan Shearer. I've run the Rapid Startup Meetup group down here in Perth for the last year and a bit. We have I think we've hit 1,200 members this week, which is fantastic. So I've been helping small businesses, indiepreneurs, entrepreneurs get their businesses up and started, get those roadblocks out of the way, and launch their small business ideas out to the world. So we are lesson 1 this evening. This is 1 of 7 on the 7-day startup. So we're following this 7-day startup framework, which is the Dan Norris 7-day startup book. I don't actually have my copy here. I do have all my other business books there, but I don't have the book here today. G'day, Paul, as usual. Welcome back. Nice to see you again. Yes, we do meet every week. We have gone through the 7-day startup a few times now. This is this will be the 4th iteration. G'day, Shane. Shane coming in from Perth. So a couple of Perth guys in here already. So this is the 3rd time we've gone through. This is the start again. We're going back to day 1, ideation. So really working out what your business idea is. You might have 10, you might have 50, you might have none. So this can give you some ideas if you don't have any already. I'll give you some tools as well that you can go and use to find an idea. Just a quick housekeeping. If you are looking to chat, you can do that throughout, no problems at all. If it is relevant to the slides, then I'll sort of tie them in. If not, I'll add them onto the end. I'll come back. So it saves all that chat up there, and I'll come in. I'll hang around afterwards for Q&A as well. Last week we were here till 9:50. So you don't have to stay all that long, but if you do want to get your questions personally answered, then do hang around. I'm happy to help. And the other guys will help out as well. So it was a great chat last week. We even had the dog snoring, and we have the dog snoring again this week as well. So if you hear that noise in the background, that's not me, that's him. All right, so I'll show you through some slides. I didn't tell you the housekeeping, which is the chat window is there. If it does cut out, it's happened nearly every week it cuts out for a few seconds and then cuts back in again. So do hang around, guys. It will allow you to stay there. It just blanks me out for about 10 seconds and then I'll come back again. Actually, it's 3 or 4 seconds. That's happened nearly every week. Telstra said they're sorting it out, but anyway. Okay, so we'll get right into it. This is lesson 1 of the Rapid Startup Workshop. So ideation and rapid validation. So I'll show you through exactly how I look at businesses from an ideas perspective, how I help others validate their ideas, a few steps we can go through. There's a 9-step checklist in the book, in the 7-day startup book. And I'll also go through the business archetypes. So as we're going through this, have a think about your idea or your ideas. If you're an ideas guy like me rather than an idea guy, we can you can take a look at these business archetypes and really work out kind of what the lifestyle would be like for that business when it's up and running and things like that. So it might help you decide which way you actually want to go with your idea. Right, so I'll cut over to the slides. This will take about 15 minutes, and then we'll come back and have some Q&A, maybe 20 minutes. I'll just flick over to the slides and we'll get started. All right, this usually takes a couple of seconds to come up, but that is the Rapid Startup Workshop. If that's what you're after, if you're looking to validate your idea, how about that? 4 minutes this week. Apologies, guys. I'm back. You guys will be back as well. We'll just keep rolling. So the presentation, which is up there now. All right, if you are looking to validate your idea, if you are looking to check off your ideas against whether they make business sense, if they're a sound idea, then you are in the right place. So let's kick off. In this session, we'll start, as we do every week, with your why. And this is actually probably the most important lesson to be really thinking about your why. So we'll stop on that for a bit and talk about what that actually means. We do go through the business archetypes, the types of business models, I guess, and work out which one are you. I put a bit of a matrix together, which you can download at the end of the session. I'll give you a link that you can download that. No email address or anything like that required. You just click a button and it gives you a PDF. So that's the business model matrix. It's in the session as well. You can download all these notes at the end as well. If you are on rapidexecutive.com/live, you can watch it on there. You've got the chat there as well, and then the buttons to download those documents are there as well. I do go through a couple of ninja tips on rapid validation, tips for getting your first sale for an idea. And then at the end, I'm going to do a business teardown for one of these business models as well. Show you exactly what the business is underneath. All right, so full circle. We've done this a few times now. This isn't my first rodeo on these webinars. So for the last couple of weeks, we have been talking about Amazon FBA as one of the business models. We get into exactly what that is tonight. But just a recap from the last session, we talked about what it was, exactly how to source a product, tips and tools for helping, and the behind the scenes of my Amazon brands at the moment. You can find out about that at webinar.rapidexecutive.com. I'm putting that as a separate piece to this. If you are interested in Amazon, it is the most amazing business model I've found in the last couple of years to rapidly get to a profitable business and head towards a passive income type model. But that's the last session. We'll get into this session. So let's start with your why. The reason we start with our why is because eventually everything becomes a job. But if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. So I'm constantly up and at 'em. I mean, it's 8 o'clock here. The kids are in bed. I'm still working on my businesses. I'm helping you guys out. I'm constantly doing stuff, and I absolutely love it. This all week is talking to people about their businesses, helping them get started. I love hearing from you guys that you have taken the leap, or you've kicked off something, or you got your first sale, you made your first dollar. I love all that stuff. It's fantastic. So do keep in touch. But I love what I do, so I don't feel like it's work. If you're new to the 7-day startup, this is day 1, ideation. those are the 7 days there. So ideation, MVP stands for minimum viable product, and we get into a bit of validation in that. That's the second one. That's next week. We talk about naming your thing. Then we build your first website. We have a bit of a marketing strategy after that, day 5. Metrics, so we can work out exactly if you're going to have a successful business and what metrics you need to measure and what are completely useless. And day 7, launch. So does the 7-day startup model work? You might have heard of things like the 4-hour work week. You might have heard of things like the lean startup model. When I first read this book, I actually thought it was one of those sort of BuzzFeed kind of clickbait kind of titles. I'd heard of the $100 startup. I read that. I thought it was fantastic. I love the idea of bootstrapping a business, taking a few bucks and turning it into a business. Love that idea, and have definitely used that kind of a model, the 4-hour work week kind of model, the $100 startup model to try your hand at business first to see if you can actually get a sale. When I found the 7-day startup book, I didn't see really an application for it. I wasn't going to build a software company. It got me down to thinking of software company and stuff like that. That's how Dan Norris built his. His was a WordPress unlimited service model type business. So you pay $60 a month and he'll look after your website basically. So I couldn't really tie it to a use case, an application. I couldn't work out how I could actually make this work for me and my business. I couldn't actually put a business inside of this 7-day startup. He has lots of examples and things like that. So it's a really fantastic book. It wasn't until I had played around with a few things. I'd thought about doing e-commerce. I've built websites before. I knew all that sort of stuff. I am a nerd. So that wasn't a difficult part. When I stumbled across bulletproof coffee. Now, I'm a huge coffee fan now, and I wasn't before. So when I discovered this, it was a completely game changer for me. So I wasn't a huge coffee drinker before. Now I am, and I'm using the supercharged model. So I discovered this new product. I saw that it was going to take off. I'm in the middle of reading this 7-day startup book, and there was an announcement on the radio that someone was going to come on on Bulletproof. They were going to get the Bulletproof guy on, Dave Asprey, on the radio down here in Perth, and pretty much launch what is Bulletproof coffee and whether you should be drinking or not. That was 7 days from that day. So I said to my wife, I think we should do a 7-day startup. She laughed at me. So, what are you talking about? I said, well, if we can get this product in, I can build a website. Today's idea day, we'll work out exactly what we're going to do. Tomorrow I'm going to, work out whether we can actually get the product here in a couple of days. There's express shipping from the US. We'll come up with a name for it. I'll build a site. We'll, the marketing's done for us. That's coming on that day it launches in on the radio. So we'll just contact the radio. That'll be our marketing plan. So everyone in Perth will know that we're selling it. The metrics will be built into the website, so analytics and stuff. So I can see this working. She kind of looked at me like deer in headlights. I have no idea what you're talking about, but let's do it. And long story short, we did. After that radio a gig went on. So this does work. About a month later, we launched greenmatcha.com, which is a very similar niche, but completely different product and a completely different go-to-market strategy on that. So a healthy product, but for the non-coffee drinkers, healthy conscious type thing. So we were using the same sort of marketing, but we're going after different people, and they're going after the non-coffee drinkers. So exactly the same thing. We went through the 7-day startup, and we had the greenmatcha.com.au launched as well. Fast forward a couple of months, I was helping one of our rapid startup meetup guys in the live sessions that we do, in the in-person sessions. And she was telling me about a friend of hers who is was extremely knowledgeable in a certain area. I can't go into details exactly because the course hasn't launched yet, but she effectively said that he has the wealth of knowledge around a certain topic, and she just needs to work out all the technology involved in launching this as a course. I floated the idea to her that you don't actually need a whole lot of technology. There's plenty of tools and things out there that can put these sort of training courses and stuff. Like there's Udemy and a whole bunch of platforms like that. You can put them together. You can record basically lessons on your iPhones and stuff these days and upload them to YouTube. Like it's really easy to get a course type model working. And she kind of didn't, I wouldn't say she didn't believe me, but she couldn't see it actually working. So after we finished up our session, it was about 9 o'clock at night. I went home and basically started documenting for her just so I could show her exactly how it was. About 4 a.m., I'd crawled into bed. I'd completed basically and exactly how to set up a course and run it. This one was via email, but you could add videos to the email. And I launched rapidemailcourse.com. Which is it's a bit meta. It's how to build a course, but I'm showing you how to build a course by building the course. If that makes sense, probably doesn't, but go check it out, rapidemailcourse.com. It's pretty self-explanatory. And the list goes on. I keep doing this over and over again. I'm loving launching these things. The ideation part of this makes sure that you can actually launch to customers, and then keeping it simple. You don't need massive branding. You notice I haven't said anything about legal. I haven't said anything about registering a company. I haven't said anything about talking to lawyers, accountants, patenting, none of that stuff. None of it is important to launching a business. If you can launch and get sales, you've got a valid business. Everything else comes secondary. So fantastic model, really love it. So let's get into it. Lesson 1, ideation. So we've got a checklist. It's a summary of the 7-day startup checklist. It's not these aren't my words. These are Dan Norris's words, but I've summarized them for this and I've applied them here for you guys and put them into a bit of an example. So the checklist for your idea, rapidexecutive.com/day1, if you want to check it out, is the 9 elements of a bootstrapped business. So those 9 elements are listed here, and we'll just go through them one by one. So number 1, is it enjoyable, or does it have enjoyable daily tasks? So you want to make sure the tasks you'll be doing for this business can be enjoyable. Otherwise, you'll, like we did, start with a why. If it's not enjoyable, everything turns out to be a job. Second one is product founder fit. This is a pretty common kind of language used in the startup community. I kind of think of this as passion is one of those words. If this idea lights you up, if the type of things that are involved in this business really makes you happy. So if you want to start a yoga studio because yoga is your favorite thing, then product founder fit works. So if this is the kind of thing that you really enjoy doing, if you have stumbled on the fact that you, for example, have found the best new toilet seat in the world and you think you're going to make $1 million, does that excite you? Or maybe it does, maybe it wouldn't to me, but that's what we mean by product founder fit. Number 3 is is it a scalable business model? So a lot of ideas just simply don't scale. So think about how you can allow your business to replicate itself. Is it something that will grow and doesn't just need you to grow? And that moves us on to the 4th one as well. Does it operate profitably without the founder? Can you systematize and standard operating procedure build your business so that you don't actually need to be trading your hours for the money of the business and the growth of the business? Number 5, are you building an asset that you can sell? So is the business you, or is the business your brand and you've got other people running that, and you could potentially step out of that business and sell it to somebody else? Number 6, does it have a large market potential? So toilet paper, yes. Toilet seats, maybe. Everyone has one, but they probably don't need one once a month kind of thing. There's a fantastic example of this, the Dollar Shave Club, if you've heard of those guys. Fantastic, huge market potential, because that's something that every bloke needs. Does it tap into a pain pleasure differentiator? So the key to differentiating yourself is to look at the current solutions and see where there's any friction or annoyance or problems that people are having, and see if you can actually solve that with your idea. And does it have a unique lead generation advantage? And what does that mean? So how will you obtain your customers? Is it basically the same as everyone else? Are you going out and getting billboards? Can you run Facebook ads? Are you going to stand out when you're doing that, or are you just going to look like everybody else? And number 9, it's probably the most important part of the 7-day startup. Can you launch fast? So in 7 days, can you get something up that you can actually make a sale with? Is it small enough and bite-sized enough to actually get going? All right, so let's look at some business archetypes, actually put these to the test. So you might have an idea already. Let me know, guys, in the comments of your ideas, and we can start using those as examples in here. But basically, we will go through some business archetypes that most of your ideas would fit inside one of these 4. So let's have a quick look. So the first one is the teacher. So you might see some familiar faces here. If not, that's okay. The teacher, some examples of a teacher are the coach. So things like an online course as a coach, a thought leader. So things like a writer or a speaker are thought leaders, and the mediapreneur. So things like affiliate marketing and social media kind of things. That's a mediapreneur. So they're selling sort of branding around themselves and things like that. The second is the freelancer. So have you considered moonlighting? Things like Uber and things like that. They're a freelancer, so they're kind of time swap or resource swap services. There's things like there's websites like Fiverr and Elance, or it's called Upwork now, which is like the gig economy. So again, you're kind of swapping your time for money, but there are models and methods to turning this into really good side incomes. And there are some people out there making a full-time living off these services, and not just in third world countries as well. These are quite lucrative. I'll show you an example of some of these. And there's a couple of case studies you can download from this as well. There's one from a Fiverr guy who actually has just bought a house from his on the side Fiverr income. So if you are moonlighting, I will say be ethical. If you have a 9 to 5, I wouldn't be spending time building your website. At 9:05 when you walk in the door, grab a coffee and start building your own thing. But what I always say is lunch is your time. There is a lot of, it's probably a lot of people have given me some funky looks because I'm sitting talking to people on my laptop in my car out the front of the office and things like that. So lunchtime is your time. The third archetype is the maker. So what is the maker? So it's like a designer, software designer, web designer, things like that. The builder or software engineer, so the coder, the artist or painter, musician, all these types of things fit into the maker category. Some examples here, Justin Jackson, he's got a couple of podcasts, he's got some fantastic books, courses and things like that. But he's the maker, he's the doer underneath it. He's got a little bit of a personality to be able to promote his stuff, so he's quite good at the marketing angle, but at heart, he's actually a maker. Nathan Barry, again, he's a designer. He sort of made his launch to the world building, I think it was Photoshop templates and add-ons and stuff. Then he wrote a book and pretty much has gone completely crazy from there. So he's doing extremely well, but at heart, he's the nerd, he's the designer, he's the builder guy from the bottom. All right, and the last archetype is the retailer. And this covers a whole bunch of things from e-commerce, whether it's physical or drop shipping, physical premise kind of thing, not the best model to be in these days, but definitely still a common one. And another example of a retailer is Amazon FBA. So I did mention this before. My first 7-day startup launch was the e-commerce side. It's a physical, it's not drop shipping, it's physical products. I'm actually importing products from the US. I have them here in a small warehouse / my house. And I pack, pick, ship, all that stuff, handle all the customer service stuff. It's pretty crazy. The parts of the business that I don't like, for example, staying up to midnight packing orders every night, and dealing with things like Australia Post and Couriers, not fun, and damaged stock, not fun. When I discovered this model from Amazon, completely blew all that out of the water. All those problems become Amazon's problems. So the FBA model, fulfillment by Amazon, is just fantastic. If you want to find out a little bit more about that, don't just take it from me. There's a guy called Scott Voker at theamazingseller.com. If you go to /start, he's kind of curated a bunch of his best stuff on one page. If you really want a great introduction to all things Amazon FBA, go there. I broke it down last week in exactly what I'm up to, how I've started. I've got a bit of an Australian slant on that as well. So obviously, if you guys are selling from Australia, it's a bit different from the US. So this guy's in the US, I'm from Australia. So webinar.rapidexecutive.com if you want to find out a bit more about the Australian side of it as well. So which of these do you choose? So what I've done is put this together as a bit of a business model matrix, for want of a better term. So it sounds very businessy. I was trying not to make it sound businessy, but I've got the archetypes down the left. I've got the subtypes. So it gives you a bit of an example there as to type of business that your idea might fit into. And what I've done here is I've collated a bunch of examples, and they're all, I guess, case studies. So it's not just a click out to a website showing you the person. It's actually breaks down. Most of them are actually case studies. So if you go to them, it might be an about page, or it might be an article written about them. Really shows you exactly how their business works. So for example, we've got Kimra Luna, who started from pretty much nothing probably about 18 months ago, and now she's doing multiple six figures a month with a sort of an online community. Fantastic. She went completely bananas on Periscope. She's got quite a character. She's got very bright blue hair. Anyway, so she's in the coaching thing. So Coach has a very small market size, but has extremely easy entry level. So that's why pretty much every man and his dog on the internet these days is trying to be a coach or a life coach or something like that, because the ease of entry is just ridiculously easy. If you do build a community or some kind of recurring thing, you can have automated recurring revenue built into that. So it's not a bad model, just because it's so easy to get in, it's very saturated. So I've broken down by market size. So that's the potential you've got of growing this business and potential of getting into it and potential upside for that. The simplicity or ease of entry is, is there a big upfront costs? Do you need special skills? That sort of thing. Do you need an unfair advantage and that sort of thing? So if you wanted to be a mediapreneur or an artist or something, you might need to have some inherent skills already built in. Not to say that you can't learn. And the last one is just, does it have an automated recurring revenue kind of model? If you're looking for passive income, that kind of a goal, then you want to find the ones with the green there that have less of the swapping your time for money and more of the potential surety of business coming in or money coming in the door. So this is matrix is available for download on the rapidexecutive.com/live page, and all of those links. It's a PDF, but it's a clickable PDF, so you can click those links and go out and read a little bit more about those and work out which of those sort of speaks to you and suits your why as to what you're doing. So let me know what is exciting you right now. So one thing I always say is to talk about your idea, because 10 people are already working on it. When we have our fortnightly in-person meetups down here in Perth, we do get the occasional new person that comes in and says, well, I'm kind of working on something. I don't really want to tell you. It's in the business to business space. For one, I can't help you with that at all because it's so broad. I have no idea what you're doing. But two, if you don't share what you're working on, then you can't actually prove that customers will want it. If you keep it all bottled up inside, then you might end up being like my dad, who's going, "Oh, I had that idea 5 years ago. I should have come up with the idea of Uber," or that kind of thing. So don't be one of those people. Get out and talk about your idea. Talk to people who could potentially be your customers. See if they want it. See if they like it. It's tough. It might sound easy for me to say that, and some people might not be sort of naturally open and honest to that sort of thing. So it's scary. It's scary to have your idea kind of poo-pooed and people tell you it's pretty crap. But I'd rather have that up front than start something that sort of got failure inherent in it. Now, if you don't believe me that 10 people are already working on your thing, go and have a look at something like producthunt.com. There's a few of these sort of curated sites that you can go and grab. This one's kind of got a bit of a tech slant. So if you're looking to build an app or some sort of website, some sort of service, some kind of, or even like a book or a podcast or something like that, go and jump on producthunt.com, start typing in some words, and I guarantee there's already about 10 of them. You'll probably be surprised at some of your ideas, how well developed they already are by somebody else. And the next thing would be a sale is the best validation. So get your product out there, get the minimum viable product out there. We'll talk about that in the next episode as well, exactly how to validate your idea, exactly what a minimum viable product is versus a prototype. So we'll get into a bit of that in the next lesson. But for now, you can jump on something like gumroad.com. It basically has a landing page already built. You add a picture, some words about what it is, and you can pre-sell your idea. So if you're thinking about writing a book or producing some sort of toolkit, or even they don't really like coaching, but if you want to do some sort of coaching thing, like a productized type of coach, so I'll help you start your business, I'll help you with some tax help, I'll just basically, if you've got some sort of service model like that, and you can prove that there's a physical exchange of goods of some type, so you're going to produce a document or something like that, you can jump on Gumroad, you type in an email address and your credit card, your bank account details, and you can pre-sell your idea. You get it out there, you can start sharing a link. It's a beautiful website. You don't need to build anything. You just type some words in. Everything else is done for you. And you can put your product on pre-sell and start telling people about it. If they go and click and buy, you're validating your idea. If they don't buy, it's probably a crap idea. So you can take that, go back to the drawing board, not spend months and months and months making something and then launch to crickets. So if you can get people to pull out their wallet and pay for it, even if it's a pre-sell, you can validate your idea before you've even gone off and built stuff. All right, so 3 quick case studies on rapid validation. So a case study for the teacher model. Brian Harris is a learn out loud kind of guy. He is fantastic. I was one of his mentees last year and the year before. Really fantastic over at videofruit.com. There's a link here, it takes you to the vacuum formula. The vacuum formula is a fantastic way of starting any business. It breaks that down exactly what to do to find your first customers, basically find people already talking about what you're trying to sell and go and pitch them. The freelancer model, we talked about this before. This is a story, a narco fighter, a guy who bought a house after 1 year on Fiverr, and this was all on the side. It's fantastic. And the last one, retailer, Amazon FBA. So I'll do a quick walkthrough of Amazon.com tonight, exactly how that works. So a quick case study on the FBA retailer. So if you guys were here last week, you know that I absolutely love talking about this at the moment. I've launched an Amazon brand. I've got a whole bunch of products up there already, so I'm really excited about this sort of stuff. Let's have a look at exactly how the retailer model is working. So I have taken the 7-day startup and applied that to Amazon FBA. So each one of these days, generally in Amazon terms, things like shipments and stuff can take a few days. So or even a few weeks. There's a bit of back and forth with suppliers, so it doesn't generally meet the one-to-one on a daily basis, but that's okay. So as long as you're following a bit of a framework. So I've found that product research up front, Finding a supplier and getting some samples. Is your minimum viable product? Is this going to be useful? Are people going to sell it? Is the supplier communicable? All that sort of things. Creating a seller account on Amazon is your name and your logo. Creating a listing is building a site, because you don't need to build a site when you're using Amazon. They've got one already, and it's already fantastically optimized for sales. Marketing is your keyword research. Everything is driven on Amazon by keywords, so it's old school in the SEO world. Your metrics is the sales and margins to make sure you're actually making money out of this. And launching is a promotional blast. So sort of how retail stores do sales and new brands and things coming onto the scene, they will launch with a sort of special promotion, buy one, get one free, or 50% off or something like that. It's exactly the same on Amazon. So why FBA? So I broke down exactly how FBA works in the last session as well. So again, webinar.rapidexecutive.com if you want to go and have a look at that. But basically, there are a bunch of tools here that I'm going to show you exactly how an Amazon business is put together. But Amazon FBA takes all of the pain of e-commerce away, puts all of the painful stuff onto Amazon. All you need to do is find a product that's selling and get it up there. They'll do everything else. So how do you find a product that's selling? Okay, as I mentioned, searching on Amazon, everything is done by a keyword. So this is an example of when I'm in the coffee niche on Amazon. I was doing a bit of searching around for stainless steel coffee items, and I came across this stainless steel bag clip. I did type in coffee. I think I typed in coffee bag or coffee holders or something like that. And apparently these clips are extremely popular for, it turns out, for sealing your bags in the kitchen. I hadn't thought about that, but if you think of Amazon like a massive big, it is the biggest online store, but like a big department store, these things are quite common. They're pretty much walking out the door. So there are some tools. This is a super tool. It's called Jungle Scout. It's a little Chrome plugin. When you're on Amazon, you click this button and it tells you estimated sales per month for products that are listed on Amazon. So if you've got basically you go and type in stainless steel bag clip in Amazon, it'll give you about 15, 16 results on the page. You click this button and it tells you who they are, what their price is, what category they're in, what their sales rank is, because that's actually publicly visible. Based on that ranking, they'll work out, based on that ranking and category, Jungle Scout has an algorithm and it works out potential estimated sales and estimated revenue. So as you can see, when I said that this is quite a popular product, these stainless steel bag clips are selling for $20 and they're making $10,000 a month. That's crazy. And it says here these guys are FBA. So these are, ma and pa guys like you and I. And their pricing, it's sitting around the $19 mark. It looks like they launched in November last year. So this CamelCamelCamel.com will tell you the price history for any product on Amazon. So you just copy the link of the listing on Amazon over into CamelCamelCamel.com, and it'll tell you when they launched and their pricing over time. It's crazy, and this is real. So these guys launched really expensive. Straight away, they come right back down again and hovered around the $10 to $12 mark. And then recently, they've increased their price. So sounds pretty cool. So how are they getting this product and how much are they getting this for? So you might notice that image looks very familiar. These guys have sourced this product. I don't know exactly for sure, but I'm sure you can see that it looks very suspiciously the same at $1 each. And remember, they're selling them for $19.95 on Amazon, and they're selling $10,000 worth every month on Amazon, and they're getting them for $1.30 each. I would do that trade all day. All right, so what goes into an Amazon business? Apart from finding products from China and shipping them straight to Amazon, there's a few other things that go into it, but not much. So I went and found this Pro Chef kitchen tools and had a look. So you can Google them, Google their name, their brand, or whatever on Amazon. Find out a little bit more. You can go and have a look at their social profile. So these guys had a website. They've got a whole bunch of social profiles, so they look like a legitimate business. But so that's a stock logo. I found that on a logo site. You just type in the words and it gives you pretty much everything else. And these images they're using are their Amazon images. So if you right click on it, it actually has the Amazon title of the image on there. So a whole bunch of numbers and things like that. So this is a Shopify store. So this gets a little bit nerdy for a few seconds, but stay with me. There is a site called builtwith.com and another one called whattheme.com where you can actually go and tear down what underlies someone's website. So they're using the standard Retina $160 Shopify store on here. And Shopify have a plugin that says, tell me your Amazon login and I'll pull all your products, all the images and all the words in, and you can go live. Chuck in some stock photos on the front, done. Chuck in your logo and your words, done. You're live. Now, if we go to their product page, it's just down here, stainless steel jumbo wide bag clips, $29.95 they had them on here, $19.95 they had them on Amazon. But that button on their website, on their picture, it's actually down the bottom there, you can't see there, but that's what it looks like down there. You click that, and it actually takes you to their Amazon listing. So they're not even selling from their website. They don't have any of these products on hand. They're literally having a window shopping version of a website up. You click buy now on their products and it takes you over to their listing on Amazon. Crazy. So what else do they have? They've got a whole bunch of stainless steel stuff. All these products, I found exactly these images on Alibaba. They're sitting around the reasonably good price market to get a good margin off these. But this is all their products, or one page of their products, I should say. This is a monthly sales volume, $155,000 for 11 products. That's a month. This is just one keyword, one random product that I found on Amazon. There's millions and millions of these that are absolutely making money from what seems like very little work. Okay, so that's how you could validate. This is how you could tear down a business, and that's how you validate your idea. So we covered a few things tonight. We covered the business archetypes. Again, that business archetype model matrix is available on rapidexecutive.com/live. You can download that there, read about the case studies, see which one fits you and your idea. You can validate your ideas up there. You might have a list of ideas. You might want to check them all off and see what actually works for you. Now, every week I offer a few slots up in my calendar to talk about this sort of stuff. So if you would like to chat to me more about your idea, feel free to jump on rapidexecutive.com/coaching. They usually fill up every week, so grab one of those if you want to chat with me. We'll jump on a Skype call and I can help you out. All right, that was lesson 1. Thanks for hanging around, guys. I hope that was helpful. And we'll jump over into the questions and see what I can help you guys out with. As I said, if you want to get more information, if you want to download the slides from tonight, everything's clickable in there. Just below on rapidexecutive.com/live, you can click the buttons. It's a PDF, so no email or anything like that required. All right, so let's jump into some of the questions. After your talk last week about Amazon FBA, I purchased Jungle Scout and looking for a product to sell. How long do you spend searching for a product? That is a fantastic question, and the answer is as long as you need. Sorry. Really? You could search for weeks, you could search for months, you could search for 5 minutes. My first product I already had. My second product I searched for about 2 weeks. And if you did see last night, then last week's session, I didn't eat my own dog food. Jungle Scout told me not to buy the product, and I did anyway, and it was a dud. Third product we researched, I bought on my staff member, and we researched for about 2 weeks. And third product was the last day of that 2 weeks. So once you get the hang of it, especially around Amazon FBA, so if you want a full breakdown of exactly how Amazon FBA works, webinar.rapidexecutive.com. I take down the whole thing and tell you exactly how to get started on there. Jungle Scout is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I think I put a link for it on rapidexecutive.com/live. There's a link to Jungle Scout there. Greg will buy me a cup of coffee if you click that link and pay for it there. It's totally worth it. It's totally worth it. Once you start, once you get a bit of a feel, a bit of a flavor for Amazon FBA, especially if you've had any experience with e-commerce before, or you're thinking about doing e-commerce, I would jump into this first. It's kind of, I thought you would start an e-commerce business, and once you prove something that works, then you take it to Amazon. That's absolutely the wrong way to do it. It's back to front. Totally asked about. If something works on Amazon, you guarantee it's going to work for you. If it's selling here, it'll pay for your e-commerce site, and then you can start to bring some products back to you and start driving traffic there and building a bit of an audience. But if you can't sell it on Amazon, it's not a very good product. So in answer to your question, it depends. If you want to get started right now, you can use the Jungle Scout web app and just start filtering through the categories, and you'll find things that pop up. There is another tool called the DS. Let me just grab, it's on my Chrome. I'll give you the exact name, DS Amazon Quick View. So when you start searching around, it actually hovers and tells you bestseller ranks and how many people are selling at FBA. You'll start to notice things like, okay, this is a really well-selling product. There's not a lot of competition, and then you can use CamelCamelCamel.com just to go and see and make sure that it's just, they just haven't dropped their price ridiculously, and that's why they're selling so much. But if you, as I said, once you start getting a feel for Amazon, you'll start noticing everything everywhere. I have the Amazon the Amazon seller app on my phone now, which has got a little barcode scanner and a whole bunch of things. So when I'm out shopping now, when I'm out and about, when I see things, I just have this, I wonder if that'll sell. I wonder if it is selling. I wonder if that's fixing the problem. Amazon is this huge data. Basically, every product that's selling is on Amazon. Every product that's not selling. But the amount of data there, the bestseller rankings that Amazon tell you, the reader reviews, it's just a gold mine of product validation. If you want to sell something, go on Amazon and see who's selling something similar and where they're not hitting the market. Go and have a look at the 3-star reviews. This product, I would give this a 5-star review if it just did this. If your product has that, you can sell to that market and completely take over. Paul, you mentioned a fortnightly face-to-face. Can you tell me more? So there's a quick link to get to it, rapidexecutive.com/meetup. Paul, I think you said you're in Perth. Yeah, Chute Hill, yep. We run face-to-face every fortnight. We didn't have one last week. My wife's away this week, so it'll be next week. 8th, I think it's the 8th of June is our next one. And we're actually up to lesson 2 in the face-to-face ones. So I kind of timed it right to keep them in line, even though we meet weekly here online. So the face-to-face is a very small knit group. We meet in the city after work. It's very much a mastermind. So this is me talking head and trying to answer your questions. I'm happy to pull you guys in if you want to jump on. This is a Hangouts on air. I can bring you people in if you want. You guys, I should say, you people. It's getting late for me. I can bring you guys in if you want to actually have a chat, but it is a bit of a talking head and Q&A. I find with the in-person, people can chat to each other. It's a bit more of a vibe. There's a bit more of a human connection piece to it. Very much a mastermind. We're helping each other out. Gathering a whole bunch of people together that have entrepreneurial tendencies, but completely different markets, really, it's such a fantastic feel, because I've had inventors, people who are starting sort of in-person studio type things, to guys that are launching supplements, to people that are starting blogs and all that sort of together. But to hear the problems and the solutions that one and the other have, you can cross-pollinate those, and that would fix my thing, and a guy that does this, and it's just a fantastic in-person event. I love the dynamics of it. I think I answered that already. Yeah. All right, there's still a few of you guys here. If you've got any questions, you can jump on rapidexecutive.com/live. There is a comment section on YouTube as well. If you're watching direct on YouTube, there was a few people that found another way to chat last week that I don't know how to do. So I don't know how you guys did that, but that was awesome. I jumped on those questions afterwards, so hang around. But if you do want to chat with me, rapidexecutive.com/coaching, and you can jump in my calendar and we can catch up together. Yeah, Shane, if you're really keen to get into FBA, would this be applicable to meetups as well? Definitely. So FBA, as you saw tonight, FBA sits firmly in the retail archetype. I think it is the model, the online business model. The tools that are available, the amount of data that's available, the market that's there, it's huge. There are 300 million credit cards on file for Amazon. That's people that have one button, buy, give it to me now, already hooked into their online. Amazon have this in the US. They have this thing called Prime. You pay, I think it's like $100 a year or something, but you can get free 2-day shipping for anything that's Prime. If you're an FBA seller or Amazon is selling your product, you qualify. Those products qualify for FBA because they're sitting in Amazon's warehouse. They can pick, pack, and ship it like within minutes of the sale coming through, and it's out the door. So some Prime members, if they're close to the distribution warehouses, they can get their products within an hour. That's just mental. You're online, you're on your phone, you see something you like, you click buy. No credit card, nothing, no address, no what's your name, all that sort of stuff. You literally go, I want that, boom, and it's like it comes to your house in an hour. That's epic. So we don't have that yet in Australia, that sort of turnaround, but we can still buy. There's 300 million people in the US. There's 300 million credit cards on file. They're not all US people. So Amazon is the online marketplace because there's so much traffic, because there's so many eyes, because everyone that's there is buying or looking to buy. They've got a buying mindset. It's not like Facebook where they're sharing pics with their grandma and stuff. It's because it's the biggest window shopping in the world. They're able to collate people, like people viewing what they're clicking on, what they're buying, losing my voice. What they're clicking through and not buying. The reviews there are literally people saying I do or don't like something. Telling there's so much data there that'll tell you exactly whether your product's hitting or resonating with people. I haven't attended one, but I'm keen to come down. Yeah, come on down. It's awesome. It's great fun. 8th of June is the next in-person. And then every fortnight after that. I think one is going to be my birthday, but never mind. But if you do come down to chat in person, you and I and everyone else that talks FBA will steal the show. It's hard to get me to stop talking about it, as you can tell from tonight. I'm having tremendous success. It's the fastest business model I've found to get up and running. Obviously, there are some upfront costs. So when I launched the buttercoffee.com.au e-commerce stuff, I had to build the site. I had to do a whole bunch of stuff that you don't need to do for FBA upfront. I needed to drive traffic. Still struggling with that one, and I continually will struggle with that one. I needed to buy product, which you do for Amazon, but the margins are crazy different. There are less upfront costs than my e-commerce store to start up, but there are initial sale costs. So when you want to launch, because there's such competition up there already, so obviously there's people vying for all that market at the moment. Yeah, cool, great, awesome. We'll see you there. because there's so much competition, you do need to kind of launch with a bit of a splash. You need to show Amazon that you can convert on your listing. You've got good pictures and all that sort of stuff. So there's a few things you do need to do. Nothing like your e-commerce store. So if I compare, on one hand, you've got e-commerce requires you to build a website. Can you do that? Do you have all your images already? If you're reselling someone else's product, then maybe you can steal their images, which is what I did for a lot of mine. But some of them I had to go, use your phone and things like that, and they just don't turn out that great. To Amazon, where they've already got everything there, they've got the traffic, they've got the website, everything's already optimized. So pulling that the product together with what Amazon already have, it's a no-brainer. Cool. Thanks, Paul. We'll see you there. Yeah, 8th of June. Come on down. Nice. Cool. Yeah. So if you do want to find out more about Amazon, I collated all of the Amazon stuff into one special webinar, so we can talk about those separately. I probably will do a second webinar now just to talk about that, because I as you can tell, I can't shut up about it. It really works. I'm loving it. I love how simple it is to get started. I love how huge the market opportunity is. So there is just, I'm already talking to, there is a manufacturer here in Perth who has sites in India and China. He is, I'm his agent, I guess. I'm being his Amazon guy. So he's bringing me products. I'm getting them launched for him. There's just so much opportunity here. It's tremendous. There are countless, and I'm starting to discover this as well, so I'll be hitting these guys up as well. There are countless online sellers that just aren't nailing it. Guys that have got physical stores around Perth, unique products. If they can get their margins good enough so they can get things shipped off. We do need to get things from Australia to the US. Now, there are some good shipping rates you can get with Aussie Post. There's some good courier rates that you can get as well. Once you get it to the US, Amazon deals with the rest of the shipping itself. I've got an agent on the US side that pulls things in. So I literally just send it to an address and they deal with customs and everything else. Nothing else I have to do. It costs me cents on the dollar. It's fantastic. So there's so much opportunity there. If you guys have got any products already, physical products already, let me know. I'll tell you exactly what you can do to go and have a look. If you want to do a bit more of a deep dive into this sort of stuff, again, webinar.rapidexecutive.com. It'll tell you all about how that all works. There's a couple of tools in there, a couple of free tools, one paid tool. It'll take the hours out of this and turn it into no time at all to exactly how to validate how this works. Start exploring the marketplace. Even if your goal is not to sell on Amazon, you can use the data. The data's all there. You can validate whether your invention's going to work based on the product reviews of people that are selling that sort of stuff. So it's a fantastic data repository for all things product. There is a guy who has an invention. Not sure I'm allowed to talk about it, but it's in the outdoor recreation niche. Let's say that. He's tossing up whether he should do Kickstarter or just go straight to Amazon. So we tossed up the numbers, and he doesn't really need the 20 grand he'd get from Kickstarter. He can't justify 200 grand from Kickstarter because people are like, well, what are we getting from this? What are you going to do with that money? So it doesn't really make any sense to do that. And he's looking, I've shown him the numbers of what it would be like on Amazon, and he's like, wow, it's so much less work, so much more upside. So good stuff. All right, guys, if you have any more questions, I've got a couple more minutes and I've got to jump in my weekly team meeting with my guys. So let me know. I'll leave the chat open if you want to jump on there. Again, the notes from today's lesson are at rapidexecutive.com/live. You don't need to email address or anything like that. Just click on the links. It downloads a PDF and all those are clickable. If you do want to chat with me about your business ideas, if you want to validate your idea, if you've got an idea, you want to see if it actually will work, if you want to talk Amazon or FBA, things like that, then webinar.rapidexecutive.com. or you can jump on rapidexecutive.com/coaching. All these links are in the notes from today. If you want to chat with me, you can grab a spot in my calendar. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Shane. Glad you liked it. Let me know if you guys need anything else from these sessions. I'm always looking to improve, change, and grow these up. I am hoping to help 1,000 people launch their business. So I've got 1,200 members in the local meetup group. There's a couple hundred in this. We've only been going with these for a month or two. So I really like helping people start. I really like seeing people get started and going through that change, getting some success. It really fulfills me. So my goal is to help 1,000 people start their businesses. My goal for myself is to launch my own businesses, stop doing that 9-to-5 thing. And I have so much fun talking about this sort of stuff with guys. So if you do want to get started, let me know what you're hoping to do or what you're thinking about doing. As I said, share your idea. There's already 10 people working on it. So if you share your idea, you can find people who are willing to pay for it or the answers to whether it is or isn't good and whether it's going to be successful. All right. So as I said, guys, the notes are on rapidexecutive.com/live/coaching if you want to chat with me, and webinar.rapidexecutive.com if you want to have a look at the Amazon stuff. I've tried to pull that into one place so it's easier to find. If you are interested in that, definitely. Thank you. Let's still work with you. Cool. Yeah, I'll leave the chat open for a little while longer. I do have to jump on another call with my team members and find out how we're going with our businesses. But you guys can ask each other questions. I think you can see each other's comments there. So I'll leave the chat open. I'll be here for a little while longer. I do need to jump off this though. But we'll be back next week with lesson 2, where we go through product validation or idea validation. We'll talk a little bit about exactly how we take one of these ideas and work out whether it's going to sell and exactly what steps you need to take to do that, to get your first sale. That's called MVP, or WTF is an MVP, minimum viable product, and we work out exactly what you need to get started. All right. That was fun, guys. Great to chat to you. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the questions, and keep that going. We'll chat for a little bit longer, and I'll see you next week.